minute and 30 seconds of bullshit right now. Like us being utterly stupid, like we absolutely don't know what we're doing.
Hi, this is Donna.
And this is TJ.
We're the Hills.
And this is
Dinner
and a Marriage.
Here we are. It's dinner and a marriage.
Well, it's currently coffee and a marriage. But yeah.
Coffee anytime. Yay, coffee.
So, should we tell everybody how we met?
Sure.
All the people that aren't listening right now?
That's right.
Right? All the pretend people?
All you pretty people.
We met online. Like back in the day.
MySpace.
From MySpace to my place.
Oh, wow.
It was like that.
It was kind of like that.
Right? Like, oh, creepy.
Yeah, it would
You
be
want to know
now,
what's even
right?
creepier? I remembered the name of the site that we met on.
Oh, I don't. What was it? Plenty of Fish?
No. They should have just named that site Fish in a Barrel.
Fish in a barrel. There we go.
It's worse than that.
Oh, God, what is it?
It was called Date Hookup.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
We won't go into how that site got picked, but I know that you weren't the one that went and picked it, right? So
No, it was like a banner. If you're familiar
No,
with
exactly.
MySpace at all.
yes.
Yeah, there was little banners on the bottom. I guess you get that now with YouTube and stuff, right? Or if you play games on your phone, you'll get like little banners of ads on the bottom. So it was like that as a banner. And my kids used to always play on MySpace. Like, they had games and whatever. I don't even remember what games do you?
No, I didn't play the games.
Yeah.
I
So
was only did it for music stuff, and because it was kind of trendy, and Mud was way into it for music, and there was all sorts of band ads and whatever, and people could actually post some music on there every once in a while, and then I was like, oh, I could try to meet a girl on here.
funny. I was working 2 jobs, had a roommate, and I did not have time for dating.
She was into predators.
Wow. Ew. What does that mean?
I'm just saying that there's stalkers on the internet, dude.
Was there back then too?
I think so. There's always been stalkers, right? Like, there's not a stalker shortage in the world ever.
I guess that's true. Well, I apparently wasn't worried about it because as soon as we started talking, I was like, yeah, well, I don't get on here very much, so here's my phone number.
It was like that. It was absolutely like that.
I think we chatted once on this site.
Yeah, no, it was twice
Oh.
because,
Oh, 2 times.
Yeah,
And then
no,
I'm
it
like,
was-
here's my number.
well, it was one of those things where originally you were younger,
Oh, right. So
and I was like, oh,
the way that it worked out was, like I was saying, the kids used to play games on the MySpace all the time. And Gary was 7, 6, 7, 8. How old? No, that was Chloe.
he was 14, homie.
No, he wasn't that old. Was he? Anyway, he
Dude,
was.
he's gonna be 30.
I
We're gonna be
know.
married for 15 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so come on, mathematics.
Anyways, mathematics. So he was 14, and he would tell me, "Mom, you need to date." Like I lived with my roommate Richard, and I worked at Fred Meyer and at Regents, and he's like, "You need to get out." Blah blah blah. And so my profile picture was a picture that Chloe, that's what made me think of it. Chloe took of me, and she was 7 at the time. So I'm like leaning down for a photo. And Gary filled out like he was asking me all these questions. Mom, what do you like to do? What's your favorite color? Stuff like that. And I thought he was just doing one of those little survey things, you know.
That photo that you had up there was like something that was from like Blair Witch Project.
No.
I'm just saying it was like weirdly grainy, like
I wish
kind
I could
of
find it so I could put it on here so you guys could see it. But anyway, so he did that. And one night I got home from Fred Meyer and it had to be like midnight because I closed 11. It was late. And I got onto MySpace just like you would get onto Facebook just to see what people put out there and whatever. And I got the pop-up message from him and some other people. But he was the most interesting. And his picture was him in a hat. And it was like a side picture. You could only see part of his face. The rest of it was in shadow. And I'm like, oh, this is a good conversation. I don't remember what we chatted about. Do you?
motorcycles.
Oh, that's right. Because I was part of Chick Riders, and he had a motorcycle. And I miss Chick Riders. That was a good time. But anyway, I digress. Then, so we were chatting. And he thought that I was, how old? 20 or something?
28.
Crazy. Yeah, super
The
young,
math
right?
worked out to 28.
Was it 28? So it was whatever Gary had put in for my birthday, and I didn't even question it. And like in conversation, once we started talking on the phone, which we were talking on the phone every chance we got.
Yes, we talked on the phone a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And so I would be on the phone with him, and he's like, wait, how old are your kids? So I tell him, like, you know, they're this age. And he's like,
yeah, once again, mathematics.
right.
I was like,
So
wait.
clearly that was not my subject. But he says, wait, how does that work out? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, your profile says you're 28. And I'm like, no. I'm older. And he's like, oh. But he still decided to take me out on a date.
I did.
Yeah.
And that was good times.
Yeah. Super ass late. Yeah.
Okay, so my grandparents were in town. And my grandparents were from Texas. And we live in Washington State. And they were getting ready to leave like the next morning to fly out or whatever. And so I felt bad and I wanted to go see them, but I didn't think that I'd get stuck there. And yes, I was a full hour late for our date. It was bad form. Mm-hmm. Very bad form on my part.
It was super funny because the night before, because it was a Saturday night, I think.
Maybe. It was a Friday or a Saturday. Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Yeah, because Friday night, Richard, my roommate, and Danielle, another girl we worked with at Fred Meyer, we all went out to the bar and talking about, I'm going to go on this date with this guy. And my roommate Richard's like, oh, how old is he? And I'm like, I don't know, 25 or 26. I don't know. He was young, right? And
I was older than that.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, you're a cougar.
No. Well,
that's
whatever.
What
okay,
that's
what he said
and
to
then,
you.
as the night progressed with them hanging out, or with Richard and I and Danielle, he kept calling me Coog all night. Hey, Coog. What's up, Coog? Want another drink, Coog? Like, that was the joke all night long. Well, so, following night...
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Oh, apparently Coog and Goog sound familiar, so the Google went off. So, the following night, I'm waiting for him to pick me up. I'm ready, everything. And Richard's like, oh, man, he stood you up. He's not going to show.
I had been texting her.
Yeah, I said,
letting her know.
He's contacted me. He'll be here. And he's like, I don't know. Sounds kind of sus. So,
I think back then, during that point in time in the world, we used whole words.
Yeah, maybe.
He wouldn't have said sus.
Maybe wouldn't.
He would have actually said suspect.
Oh, Richard probably would have said something else. something newsworthy. But anyways, he did show up. Showed up.
Yeah, I showed up and met her roommate, and as we were walking out the door, and we'd probably made it, I don't know, 5 or 6 steps away from the door, and it was, in like the second story of an apartment complex, right? It
Yeah, we lived on the first story, but
it
we
was
had
in a
hallway.
breezeway, like open on both ends, and he goes, "Later, Coog," and I thought it was hilarious, and she busted out her big laugh, and I was sold right then because she was like pretty genuine, and I mean, I'm just saying, it was the first date, and he brought a stay-over bag.
He thought I had my shit together, basically.
It was, our relationship has been based off lies since the beginning. At that point, though, when you bring like an overnight bag, it's not even hunting; it's just killing.
Okay, I lived in Redmond, and he lived in Everett, and we were going to Seattle.
People
and if
don't
you're,
know where that is.
I know. I was
They
going
don't
to say,
care.
if you're not familiar, it's far. And I was like, Nowadays,
He won't be a
people would.
stalker.
Nobody would do that.
I'm very trusting.
right. Like, God, man. And I hadn't lived in Washington that long, so I was like, oh, da-da-da.
And you'd had your Jeep stolen. You're like, this
Oh,
place
yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy times. But nowadays, if somebody said, oh, you lived in Everett, and he said he lived in Everett, and you were taking an overnight bag, like, were wanting to die? What's going on? But yeah.
It's not like that bad.
Oh, Everett's gotten pretty bad.
Well, yeah, but
Pretty bad.
whatever. But yes, then we went and we had a nice dinner, and then we hung out.
Yeah.
Went to GameWorks and stuff.
Oh, which isn't even around anymore.
Nope, it's
That's
not.
sad.
That's in the area of town where everything got rioted and exploded,
Yeah.
and now it's all boarded up.
And we had oysters and Coronas.
Yep, it was pretty dope.
It was a good
But-
night. And then I never left.
Yeah, then she never left. That's pretty much what happened.
Pretty close. Pretty close.
It's not, might be a slight exaggeration, but it's not an over exaggeration by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But we found our ride or die people,
Yeah, there we go.
right?
Yeah.
Which the world's missing now.
That's true. True. And then we've got our ride or die dog. All right. I'm back.
Are you?
I think so. So since this is the first episode, we're just trying to work out all the kinks.
Yeah, we've got bugs to work out.
Bugs.
Well, it's called like notepads and topics.
I have to learn not to clear my throat into the microphone and sniffle. I sniffle a lot.
You do. Are you sad?
I mean, maybe deep down.
Oh, wow.
What's that theory of saying you're not always happy? Can't always be happy.
Well,
Kind of like it can't rain all the time.
they can. It's
Well, where
tried.
we live, it's raining right now.
Yes. Big time, Reno.
Dang the rain.
Well, it's not that bad because you can't hear it currently.
I can hear it.
Can you?
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Yeah. Something you need to know about him is he has inner ear hearing loss. Is that right? High frequency hearing
High
loss
frequency hearing loss.
in his left ear.
Right ear.
Right ear.
Because
You'd think
this
I
is
didn't
how much
know.
we know about each other.
In his right ear. Well, why do you always lift your head if you're laying... Gunnar, stop it. If you're laying down...
On my left side, I lift my head up because then that ear isn't blocked. It makes sense.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I'm so dumb.
Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh, I guess we could talk about why we decided to name the podcast Dinner and a Marriage.
Okay, you go with your reason. I'll go with mine.
Oh, so we're married, so that's check one.
Yes.
And dinner. So the reason I thought dinner and a marriage was because when we get home from work, 98% of the time, TJ cooks dinner. And during that time is when we talk about the day. Hey, did you read about this? Or this happened at work? Or whatever. And I thought, oh, how cool would it be to record while we're doing that? That was my reason. I mean, for sakes of things and sounds and whatever, it'd be too hard to record a podcast while you're cooking. I mean, you could, but it would be a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worked out to a certain degree, but all the cooking sounds, the amount of...
Ting, ting,
So,
ting.
no, it's like this. When we have the house, we could try that, and I think it would work out.
Yes.
Here in the camper, no. Oh, and we did not mention that we are coming to you live from the trailer hood.
Yes.
We are in a 42-foot fifth wheel.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. It's like perma-glamping. Well,
It is.
yeah.
It
and
is.
It is. It's glamping. We've been glamping for a little over a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been interesting. What's your favorite thing and least favorite thing about glamping for this long so far?
Least favorite? A yard. Having
The
our-
lack of yard.
Yeah, having our
There's
own
no yard.
space. And the fact that we're still, you rent a spot to keep your fifth wheel at. And we're pretty stationary. We're completely stationary since we've had this. And, it's somebody else's property. So you can't have, like, stuff outside like you would if it was your own property and people over and barbecues. We've done that a few times.
Oh, we have people over and barbecued. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, but you can't like you would at a house, like we used to. Like we'd have a party or whatever.
Well, yeah, no.
Get
there's-
stupid.
No one is getting drunk and starting a bonfire, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but yes.
that's not happening here.
No.
So, I think that's the biggest thing I miss is a yard.
And I miss it at the same time. I don't miss having to take
The maintenance,
care of all
right?
of it.
Yeah,
I needed a break for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
Really?
sad day.
That's your dog.
That's a party foul.
Yeah. I
It
told you that
does.
we weren't going to be able to stop him from trying to be himself unless we put him in his kennel.
He's not gonna go in his kennel.
I understand he's
Just
not going
come
to,
back over
but
here, Gunner.
you can have that much. Don't lift it up anymore.
He just nudges it up. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. If you're into things that aren't funny. You were going to say something and then
Yeah,
you
I know.
stopped.
I lost my train of thought. That's why I'm looking distant. Oh, yeah. So that's the biggest thing of no yard, right? And then, which this is a really nice park, I guess. Like, there's a lot of space, but a lot of rules. The place has a lot of rules. So that's a little weird.
Yes.
The thing I like the most is we've pretty much gotten closer with Gabriel living here. I feel like
That's true.
that's
We
our-
started the podcast.
yeah, and that
Not
you like
that we
the most.
Not that we couldn't have before. No, I think that with the plan that we have for our new place and what we've been doing so far, even though I still just work a lot and all that, I think that we've gotten closer since we've been in the camper.
For sure, and definitely closer with Gabriel. Then that's our youngest.
But
And he'll
yeah.
be 18 next month, which is crazy. Crazy.
He'll still be my little boy.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be the baby. He's the
Yes.
baby. So, wow, yeah, that's crazy. Been a long time.
She was sitting there doing mathematics.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even trying to strain my brain on that. No, thanks. I try not to think about like, wow, I'm this old or this age or whatever, because it's really just a number.
You're just 28 to me, babe.
Oh, the love.
Yes. Oh, wow.
I do.
That's weird.
It isn't. It's
Mm.
adorbs.
Yeah, but, without the video, it makes no sense.
Oh, yeah. Go watch the video.
Heart-shaped hands.
YouTube.
Aw.
Dinner and a Marriage.
Dinner and a Marriage and our little dog.
Yes. Oh, the little weenie.
Yes.
Yes, we could plug all of Gunner's stuff. He does have an Instagram and a TikTok.
Yes.
Gunner Chewini. So how do you stop from doing the...
Only just leave your mouth open and become a mouth breather.
No? You can't even hear that as much as you can the little clicks.
What are you talking about? What little clicks?
You don't hear that when I just...
I don't know.
It's like, you talking and you get... Oh my gosh. We'll talk about this off camera.
Yeah. See, you're making it
He's gonna
weird.
end up getting dirty with it.
Well, yeah, I know. I have the greatest ideas ever.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Does have some good ideas.
Yeah. Like the one that I came up with at Walmart. If you would like your wife to like your penis more, you put a clearance sticker on it.
Oh, and then we argued about it. We argued about it, sort of.
She said that there needed to be a price.
Like it has to say was and now. Then I know I'm getting a deal.
Wow.
Right? And I could say, hey, babe, I saved you money. Of course, it's yours, so.
Right?
Maybe I'm looking at other clearances.
Wow. Well. Bargain hunter, huh?
A bargain hunter. Oh, we could go back to that MySpace thing. Whatever happened to MySpace? Doesn't what's his name buy it? What was it?
Yeah. Justin Timberlake bought
it.
And then it
what
got
happened?
like weirdly bizarre and people didn't like it because the way the format was set up. And I had a new MySpace when it first
You did?
came out or was on it. I think I signed up for one. It was something that Eric was trying to say. Oh, we should do
okay.
whatever for band stuff.
Oh.
And it was very bizarre. Like, yeah, I don't know. So that's what happened with that. I've not gone back on it to even see if it's still in existence, and I believe that it is.
Interesting. I know you can log into myspace.com or whatever it is, and if you remember your login, it's still there. So they're still there.
They've been archived for like the last 20 frickin' years.
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
Oh, dude. I doubt
Everything's, if you put it on the internet, it's still there, people. Still there.
I'm glad we haven't put this on the internet yet then.
Oh my. Speaking of Eric band, so TJ is a singer in a band.
No.
What do you mean no?
What?
You're not a vocalist, singer?
I am.
Singer
Yes.
in a band.
Okay,
That's what I
yes.
said. You're a singer in a band.
I'm currently, yes, in a band.
That's what I said. Eric was in a previous band and he was a bass player.
Yes.
So I don't know if everybody needs to know everybody's name, but
No.
just
We won't bring any of that up.
we're not going to bring up band stuff ever. I mean, we
Oh, we
may.
can.
That's
Whatever.
how he knows how to do all the audio stuff.
Oh my gosh. No.
He's very brilliant. He
How
is.
can't you just say, you're just awesome? We'll just go with I'm awesome. Oh, wow. The pause is too long. You're like, are you really?
No, I was
Yeah.
thinking about clearance.
That's what it is now. Forever. It's like, if you're, I'm going to let's see. I probably shouldn't say this on the internet
Uh-oh.
and tell all the people, but it's a concrete guy thing. It's a construction worker thing. I mean, and I'm not going to say that it's not creepy.
What are we talking about?
So, well, because you're like, oh, clearance. So now anytime we're talking about that, we can be like, oh, so here's a clearance item.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. It's like
ha-ha.
an inside joke.
Right? But if you have, say there's a hot chick walking by and you're at work, you're doing some concrete work and whatever, and guys start going, tie wire.
Oh, my. Now y'all know, girls.
Yep. You hear that? Somebody's checking you out. You get a whole group of guys doing
Wow.
that. It's super creepy. I'm just like, wow.
You guys need, yeah. Construction workers haven't changed over the years. Remember,
Some
it
of them
used to
haven't.
be.
No, sometimes. I mean,
Oh,
now
come
you've
on.
got, well,
It used to be. That was like the stereotype. Oh, if you walk by a construction.
catcalling.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
construction workers catcall. Now it's so controversial.
Now they got to be like
anymore.
all on the DL. And so now
Yeah.
it's like tie wire. Which is, whatever. You want to say that and somebody wants to
kind of-
glance over. But when you get like 5 or 6 guys that stop what they're doing and they all say tie wire, then they just stare. You're like, really? You can't even be incognito about it. Like, you look like a bunch of dumbasses.
Bye-bye now.
Yes.
I like to make people uncomfortable.
Do you?
Clearance.
Wow. Oh, this is like going to end up being the best or worst podcast in general.
For sure. For sure. I mean, I don't know how else it could go. Total dumpster fire.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
absolute dumpster fire.
I can't decide, like, should I be this close? Should I be this close? Should
Well,
I
it could be all about that practice you were talking about,
Okay.
but
Ding.
wow, you made that weird.
You made that weird.
No,
Huh. Actually don't get it. This will happen a lot. He'll say stuff and I'll be like, ha ha, I don't get it.
this is why it's fun though, because I can still make you like look at things or laugh at stuff after all this time, and it's hilarious, and you still don't get it.
Oh my gosh. Every time we're in the car and we drive by something that has bales of hay, like in a field or in the back of a truck, he always goes, oh, hey. And I'm like, what?
Then she sees it, and it's once again funny.
Every time. It's like we play Cards Against Humanity with the kids. They just try to find the cards that have the worst words on it for me to say, and they think it's funny.
Oh yeah,
They're
it's like when we
"My
played it
mom
with my
said the
mom.
P word. Yeah, that was funny.
That was pretty funny. I don't necessarily recommend playing that game with your parents, but we did, and it was funny.
It was really funny. That was hilarious because we went to play it. It was Christmas, right? Or Thanksgiving?
It was one of those two. I don't
A couple
remember.
years back.
It was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, and
My dad was like, "I'm not playing that."
yeah, so he was like, I'll just hang out and watch. I think we were one round in, and he's like, okay, deal me in.
Well, yeah, because he kept trying to tell my mom what cards to use.
Yeah, it was funny. Grammy. Those were good times.
It was.
But we have to come back around to how our date ended, I guess.
Oh, you know how the date ended.
Oh, shit. Huh. Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can't get into specifics.
I would say it was. So the date really never ended, like I said. It was like we just knew pretty immediately. This is good.
Yeah, and she was like, I'm going to move into your house. And I was like, oh, sweet.
I was actually looking for houses to buy, remember? Because I went with a realtor
Yeah.
a couple different places. And because my lease was up at the apartment we were renting. And so I don't even know how the conversation went. Like,
You were like, I could pay you rent.
Clearance! Oh, jeez. Huh.
Yep.
Okay. No. I don't remember how the combo went, but for whatever reason, it ended up like, well, let's just move it together. He owned a house, and I owned a house in Utah, and we were like, well, let's combine this. So, yeah. And I moved in.
And she never left.
Yeah. And then, let's see, how long later? A year later, we got married?
Oh, no. See, you still are really bad with the mathematics.
Stop with the mathematics.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
Just say, like, no. It's
So
5
we
months. It was 2 months later. No, wasn't that.
Oh, my gosh. We met in April. And we got married in September.
Oh, so it was the same year. Really?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, because we weren't married when my dad passed away, and that was in December. It was the
Oh, okay.
following
No, you're
year.
right. It was the following September.
Yeah. I'm like, it was not that fast.
That would have definitely been dinner and a marriage.
And a clearance sale.
Oh, wow.
I love how Goons' head's on the table. I don't know if you guys could see it.
No.
His head's on the table.
No.
He's like, nobody's let me sit in their lap, man.
Yeah,
So,
it's his favorite.
yeah, one day, same with getting married. We're like, hey, you know what? We get a tax break. I like you. You like me. We ordered our rings off the internet, and
No, you did that.
I said we.
Well, yeah, but there
I
was a
like to
you-ness
say there's a
between the
weenus
weenus.
between us.
No, it was more of a you thing. I was like, all right, cool.
It's like, man, I'm gonna marry her. Ugh.
My sister and brother-in-law at the time had a bar at their house, so that's where we got married, was in their bar.
Yeah,
It's pretty legit, low-key, and dope.
it was very good. If we do put this out, we'll put pictures of it, of like our wedding in the bar.
No,
Why not?
we won't do that. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh my gosh, yes they do. They
No
want to
one
see
cares.
Goons. They want to see you. They want to
No.
see me. They want it all for the low price of.
Clearance.
Boo! There you go.
Well,
We're going to round this off.
the dog is gonna probably destroy everything in a second. Oh, thank
No,
goodness
he
he
did
did
it.
not. All right.
And that's us.
But yeah,
signing out.
we can't give out too many more secrets on one episode, or there'll be nothing to talk about.
We always have stuff to talk about.
Pretty much.
All right. So we're signing out. This was dinner.
And a marriage.
Bye. And before you go, visit us on our social medias at Linktree /The Hills on Wheels, linktr.ee /The Hills on Wheels, no spaces.